Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Paranormal United States. This week we are at Weird California.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I was looking at different places in California that I could look into for this episode, and I found a pretty fun one, I should say.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Well, for those watching the video version, there's a big building behind me, and that is the Playboy Mansion.
Oh, I like this already, Ash.
It's for research purposes. I was looking into the Playboy Mansion. So obviously, this was owned by Hugh Hefner. It's built in Los Angeles in 1927, so it's nearly 100 years old,
Wow.
which is was about a US thing that's quite old.
Yeah, I didn't realise it was that old actually.
Mm. Obviously, Hugh Hefner died a few years ago, 2017,
Okay.
I think, when Hugh died. But he himself often talked about some of the ghostly inhabitants that live in the mansion, including one that was believed to have had a fall in the hallway of the mansion and died. And they've been seen wandering around the hallway
Wow.
after the death. But it was one of the Hefner's ex-girlfriends, Bridget Marquardt, who she's been in quite a few things talking about her experiences in the mansion as one of Hugh Hefner's girlfriends. And she was watching TV in one of the bedrooms when she saw a woman just suddenly appear, stood in the doorway looking at her.
Wow.
And she had long black hair, very pale woman, just stood there wearing a white t-shirt, just looking at her. Although she does believe it to be a woman she actually knows, or a woman that she met some years before a photo shoot, who was an employee of the mansion. And even though she did feel like positive energy, she did feel pretty scared and unsettled by this apparition just stood in the doorway of the bedroom.
It must be pretty weird, but from what I know about the Playboy Mansion, for research purposes, um, there's lots of people coming and going, and a lot of women in that particular property around Hugh Hefner all the time. So
Yeah.
it probably, although it was weird, I bet it wasn't too weird because she was used to seeing other people that she may not have known. But yeah,
Yeah, I
definitely.
suppose like the description of wearing a white t-shirt, you can just imagine them just walk around just like pants and a t-shirt on and go between the bedrooms.
Yeah.
Although she does believe it to be a former employee,
Okay.
she vaguely recognised the woman having possibly been at a photo shoot years before. This is, I think, early 2000s when she saw this person
Yeah.
in the doorway. And another Playboy bunny, Holly Madison, she starred alongside Marquardt in the reality TV show The Girls Next Door. And she's also saw the appearance of another woman, this time in the mansion's basement gym. And she saw a woman leave the bathroom and just cross right in front of her towards the doorway and then just disappeared.
Oh.
So she saw just, like I say, this figure just walk in front of her and then disappear. But unlike Bridget, she prefers to ignore it and believe that it doesn't happen, that she didn't see it. I
Okay.
guess to have a bit of an easier time living in a mansion. Although I think that was at the time, and now I don't think they live there anymore. They have both been on Ghost Adventures, talking about
Yeah.
their stories.
Yeah. I think I would. I'd probably you'd either got to go for it and embrace that whole ghostly thing, or you just have to deny it. I think otherwise, if you were scared, that would be an awful place to live.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
quite an
massive.
imposing place. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it's a massive building. There's been a lot of people living there. I suppose like you don't really think about it. Like you just hear the Playboy Mansion, but until you actually see it, you don't think you realise how big.
No, it looks huge.
It's 2,000 square meters.
Oh Jesus.
The building, so, and obviously lots of bedrooms and all stuff going on. So also the housekeeping staff of the mansion, they've shared their concerns because they've heard doors open and closing on their own. They've heard the video games, like the games room, just turn themselves on and off when no one's in there. So like yeah, the people that work there have also expressed concern. So it seems like there is a lot going on
Yeah.
in
Do
the mansion.
so. Do you know if any sort of paranormal shows or anybody else has been there? Because that's the kind of place that Ghost Adventures, those kind of places, would go to.
Yeah, I know. I not watched the episode, but I know like Ghost Adventures were there earlier this year.
Oh,
Actually,
okay. Yeah.
so not too long ago actually. So not sure if they found anything, but I mean they probably will have done.
Yeah.
But yeah, but the mansion's owned by a billionaire called Darren Metropolis. He owned it before Hugh died. Actually, he's owned it for quite a while.
Okay.
But now it's just used for corporate events and other things. So I guess hiring it out to panel teams is something that they do as well.
Yeah. I suppose the Playboy Mansion's quite a big sort of attraction for people. It's been like a famous and iconic building for decades, I suppose. If you mention the Playboy Mansion, it conjures up a bit of an image of party atmosphere and
Not everyone's heard of it, even.
Yeah.
If you don't read Playboy, you know what the Playboy Mansion is.
Does anybody read Playboy?
Does anyone read magazines?
Picture-based thing, isn't
it? Well, yeah. Look at Playboy. It's all online now, and it reads magazines.
I wouldn't know, Ash. I wouldn't know.
That's it for episode 5 of Paranormal United States. Join us next week for Weird Colorado. Happy editing.